Hi, this is Brin from bigender.net. I just wanted to post a quick response to my own video, being a good trans ally. Um, I had posted the video on a couple of the communities I belong to on LiveJournal and asked for some feedback, and I got two very good points of feedback that I wanted to share with you. They pointed out things that I either didn't touch on in my first video or didn't elaborate far enough on. But just for a matter of clarification, the hypothetical situations I'm talking about are all to do with seeing somebody in a public place that you don't know, who you suspect is trans, um, and sort of what you should do, because I know that somewhat very well-meaning people would be inclined to go up and say, hi, I know you're trans and I'm your friend and I support you and I think what you're doing is great, etc. And that's sweet, but I would advise against it for um, for one reason I didn't really touch on in the first video. Aside from the fact that it is really awkward to have your gender questioned in public, um, because there's not a fun way to defend that, and frankly, it just makes it very difficult for everybody involved. But the one point is that it is a matter of safety. If you saw my Transgender Day of Remembrance video, you know that there are many people every year who are killed for the crime of being trans, because there are some people who just can't handle the idea that there are people and concepts that don't fit into a black and white binary world, and so they do what they can to rid the world of them. And most trans people are well aware of the fact that such people are out there and such things happen, and it's very frightening. So if you walk up to me in a grocery store and you say, I see that you're trans, or, hi, I think you're, great, you make a pretty woman, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're a friend. I don't know if you're an ally. I don't know if you're a rapist. I don't know if you are hiding a baseball bat. That I become afraid, instantaneously afraid, whenever I'm clocked in public, and even if it passes, even if it becomes clear that you don't mean me any harm, I don't know that right from the beginning, and there's no way for me to know that. All I know is that you've called me out on something that I don't really want to be called out on, and I don't know what your intentions are. So, it is a matter of safety and self-preservation. I'm afraid, and I think that other people would be afraid too. So, keep that in mind. I don't know who you are when you come up to me and divulge that you have information that I'd rather you didn't be privy to. So the first thing is that it's a matter of safety. So don't go up to somebody and out them, even if you do it quietly, because we don't know what your intentions are with that information in your hands. The second thing is, and this is more in a situation where you have to interact with somebody that you suspect is trans, and it's not a matter of you not walking up to them. It's more like, let's say you're a cashier at a grocery store and a person comes through the line and you suspect that they're trans. A good rule of thumb for interacting with that person is to, again, don't say that, I know you're trans, or I'm on, just whatever, I want to support you. None of that helps. Really, the best thing you can do is just treat that person the way that they are presenting, and presentation has to do with the things that they are in control of, and those are hairstyle, clothing choices. Let's see, there were a couple other really good ones. Well, I'll just quote the person who said it. If you see a person who's wearing a dress, high heels, and makeup, you should treat that person as female, even if she is hard-featured and has a deep voice. Likewise, you should treat a person who is dressed in men's clothing and has a masculine hairstyle as male, even if he has a high voice and no facial hair. Um, Unfortunately, there are relatively few things people have the power to control about their appearance related to gender expression, and for me at least, it makes a world of difference if people acknowledge how I choose to present myself rather than my physical characteristics when evaluating my gender identity. Um, Great comment. I don't want to um, give that person's name because I didn't ask for permission to share the comment, and I don't want to out them, uh, you know, in the crazy coincidence where somebody who sees their journal also sees this video. Um, but they make a really good point. Oftentimes it's very clear what a person wants you to read them as, regardless of, giveaways like an Adam's apple or, a brow ridge or a deep voice, or, a high voice or, small stature, fine features. Um, Usually they're selling you what they want. I mean, they're putting it all out front and center. Um, so take those cues. I know with the latter one, FTM spectrum, it's a little bit difficult because a lot of the butch identity and aesthetic has a lot of overlap where it's short haircuts and men's clothes, and so that can make things sort of um, sort of difficult, I guess, to make that call. But often, if you see a hard-featured person with large bones and a deep voice in a dress, they want you to call her her and she and ma'am. Um, Although my girlfriend insists that no woman wants to be called ma'am no matter how old, and they prefer miss, but I don't mind a ma'am here and there. She's gonna kill me for mentioning her in the video, but she has a point too. Always age down. Anyway, that's really all I had. Just those 2 points, and I think I'm gonna try and do another video this week. And see, this I did keep it really short. It's less than 8 minutes right now, so I'm sure you'll get another 10 to 14-minute video from me later on this week. I don't know the topic yet, so feel free to send in suggestions, questions, and emails. You can always find me at bygender.net, and of course, use comments and YouTube messages and everything else. Other than that, have a great night, have a great week.